Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK,
And I'm Courtney.
and Courtney, how are you?
I'm tired. Um, I saw you last Monday.
hmm
I truly don't know what has gone on with my life. I haven't been home, but I don't know what I've done.
You've had a
So,
birthday.
oh, I had a birthday. I
Yes.
had a birthday. That's what I did. Oh, good, good looking out. Um, yeah, my birthday was last Wednesday. And it was super fun. I had dinner. We went and had dinner at this little Italian place around the corner that we always go to, just like the night of my birthday. So it wasn't crazy because I had worked that day.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy. Just me and Nick and Rachel and the baby. And then I just was at Rachel's every day of my life. Because then we had Thursday's baby day. So I was with the baby.
Yeah.
Um, Friday, Friday was like I was also with the baby, but I don't know what I did. I was just with the
Wasn't
baby
wasn't
part.
Friday the day you were babysitting because Nick and Rachel had a wedding?
Oh yeah, they didn't go to the wedding, but I did tell them to go to date night, and so they did date night, and I watched the baby.
I was like, how
Um,
do I know your
yeah,
life?
yeah. Look, I'm tired. I've got a lot going on. And my mind is in a lot of other places that aren't what did I do on Friday night.
Yeah.
So, and then Saturday was supposed to be my birthday day that we were like doing game day and like hanging out with friends, and everyone changed their plans last minute.
Which meant that I
Um,
got a text at like 6 o'clock in the morning telling me I had to move to New Orleans because I
that
wouldn't
is
cancel on plans.
that is correct. I have started figuring out how Mary Kate's gonna move to New Orleans. I've planned who we need to move with her and how we're gonna get her here, and
Um,
it's gonna be
which I
fine.
would like to say I read that entire text exchange between you and me and Rachel to my husband, and he said, "Yeah, not gonna happen."
There's time. I can wear him down. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We can still up the bills here. It's fine. There's jobs. You
I
can
was like,
teach.
I don't think that bills are his problem.
There's teaching. You can teach here. I know teachers and principals here. We can get you a job. Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
and
I do know
yes,
somebody who grew up in New Orleans. Now, granted, she was an adult when I met her 10 years ago. So like this, I don't know if this is true about schools here, and obviously I know plenty of other people who grew up in Louisiana, but I did meet someone who grew up in New Orleans who didn't know that the South lost the Civil War. She was never taught that until she
okay,
moved
well,
to New
we
York
are taught
City.
that in schools. She just probably chose to ignore that because a lot of families choose to ignore that.
She moved to New York City and
Not
goes,
schools.
"Wait, what?"
She just doesn't sound that bright. I don't know who this friend of yours
I
is,
mean,
but
we're not really friends. We worked together in an internship
ah,
in the theater that I worked did my
I
internship
see.
in New York. So we're not
Mhm.
like friends. I mean, she's a nice enough person. She is a little bit dumb.
Yeah,
But
it does sound like she's not that bright.
her fiance, boyfriend, whoever was there with her, who is a little bit smarter than her, did verify though that the particular school she went to did in fact just stop the teaching of the Civil War before it ended and move on.
That's I'm telling you, that's very choice, not
No,
Louisiana.
I understand that, but that was like
So, because my
that.
school didn't teach anything and they taught that. So,
But the funny thing is, I met her before I met you and Caitlin. So
yeah,
like
oh,
my
so that's your first
my
reference.
first reference to education in Louisiana was we
Yeah,
didn't learn about the Civil
yeah.
War.
I mean, it's not great. We don't have great education here. Our history teachers are our coaches. Like, it's not a
Yeah,
great start,
yeah.
but we did learn that how the Civil War ended. Yeah, so you can teach here. But yeah, so we did, because of that, we moved our plans to the next day, which is a Sunday, which is not a great day to drink martinis, in case you were wondering.
Nope.
Sunday's not a martini day, Sunday is a beer and football day. These
Correct.
are very, like,
Very
tradition
different vibes.
rooted traditions. And so Saturday night we did our unlimited sushi place, which we also go to, but we don't usually do dinner, and they have different foods at dinner, which is fun. They have these like salmon mango bites that are just the best thing I've ever had in my whole life. But they also do like you can get like chicken teriyaki and
Oh.
steak teriyaki and like katsu and stuff. Like they do like big stuff you
Oh
could
yeah,
get
no,
me you can't get.
my all you can eat sushi place does both sushi and like noodles and veggies and hibachi stuff too.
Well, ours does, but it's very minimal for the all you can eat part, like for lunch. But then dinner, it's
Oh,
everything. And like you can
yeah.
also get like fried Oreos and fried bananas at dinner, and you can't get those at lunch. You can only get the ice cream at
Oh.
lunch. Like, because I mean, it's like $10 cheaper for like lunch,
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
you don't get all the fancy stuff. So that was nice going for dinner. That was my first time having their fried Oreos and fried bananas, and they were to die for.
So I'm guessing
Um,
Rachel did not try the fire bananas.
no, she was like, please don't touch me with that. Um, and so then Sunday we did a game and did me and Rachel did some karaoke. I had they bought me this like espresso martini mix from Walmart that was like $9 and it is so good.
Very
Like,
nice.
let me tell you, it is like a it's like a espresso martini cocktail like mix infused
Yeah.
infuser.
Okay.
Um and it you just let it sit for 48 hours and then you just drink it and it's amazing and perfect. Nick was distraught. I didn't want to put cream or simple syrup or anything in there. And I was like, Nick, I don't want a sweet drink. That's not why I'm having
That's
an
the
espresso
whole point.
martini.
That's the whole point.
Um, yeah, and then I tried my $3 wine from I mean, from Aldi. It's great. $3 wine's great at Aldi. No complaints. So that's my new wine now because it's $3. Um,
Valid.
so I drink a lot for my birthday week, and probably won't drink again until Friendsgiving, where I will definitely be drinking because there will be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I did birthday things. It was fun. They also got me this like upside down wine glass.
I saw the
That's
pictures. It's
it's
amazing.
wild. I drank like 10 minutes out of it and I was like, Rachel, can you get me a regular wine glass? But it's such a fun party trick. Like Nick
Yeah.
apparently bought it like a year ago for me and
Amazing.
just saved it. So that was super fun. Oh, and Rachel got me this little lyric game and it's like you read the cards and it's like what's the word that's missing or like who were they waiting for at this corner or something, like it's
Yeah,
stuff like
like
that. It
the
was pretty
yeah.
fun.
Oh,
And it
love
was
that.
90s 2000, so it was super fun. So I just did a lot of birthday things, and just had I just start my week with birthday drinks, which was both the correct and incorrect way to start my week.
Mhm.
But I usually do a birthday shot, so I was very thrilled to do my birthday shot. It was bourbon, which is not usually how I do a birthday shot. It is usually tequila, but bourbon it was. So that's what we did. So I felt like I got all of my birthday. It was just very chaotic and very
Yeah,
spread out. And now I'm 33 and I feel like I've aged 40 years. So,
that's fair.
how are you?
I'm okay. Getting better. I know we talked a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when because it was last week for us, but I have no idea which episode it was on.
Mm.
We talked about the fact that I was gonna go see Wicked. Um,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
but
On my
then
birthday.
on your birthday, but then what happened was on your birthday, I was sick and
Mm.
I like sick enough that I went home from school early.
Ugh, bummer.
And so I did not go to see Wicked. But instead, Dan and I made what did we eat that night? I think ramen. I think ramen was all I could eat. I think we made noodles and watched Wicked.
Oh, you watched the movie.
I finally watched the movie.
What'd you
Um,
think?
I really liked it. We both thought it was really, really well done. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, I there were some things that I had
Sure.
took umber with. There were some things like I'll be
Like the
honest.
new song.
Listen, I love that they included Kristen and Idina in the movie. However, that entire thing should have been a
Garbage.
delete garbage, should have been a
Yeah,
deleted scene. It was
correct.
atrocious. Um, the problem was I understand why in a film you need more exposition, and I appreciated explaining the Grimmery because the musical
Hmm.
certainly does not.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, I really wish that they had had Kristen and Idina explain the Grimmery and the history of it without that weird song and the like unreasonable fan service.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
correct.
so didn't really love that.
Hmm.
However, almost everything else was word for word from the musical script.
Yeah.
And the things that they did expand were like very good, necessary expanding. Like the Dr. Dillamond scenes with the background
Hmm.
with the animals was expanded, but they were expanded so well.
So
Um,
good.
the
That
include
was more like the book because they included a lot more of that book and not in the
yeah,
musical because it's
the
darker. I get it.
which
It's
it's
dark
darker,
and
but it's also
sad.
it's dark and it's sad, but there's also only so much you can do in the time period you have on stage.
Hmm.
Wicked's already a very long show.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
correct.
yeah, I know because I worked it Saturday night. I was
Hmm.
like, shit. But the so like they fleshed some of those things out really well. I loved the including like the extra dialogue and background when her and Fiero save the lion cub and explaining what the poppies do to people in that scene. Like I thought they did a lot of like background stuff that like was helpful
Hmm.
and worked. They didn't change anything. They truthfully, plot wise, they beefed some things up to give it more background that you need in a movie. They like extended some things, they like over dramatized some things, but they didn't change any of the plot points, and I
Yeah.
really liked that.
Hmm.
So
I was really impressed by the movie, and like I waited longer than a lot of people to watch it because once it's hyped, once it's not longer than
I
you, obviously, but once it's too hyped, I'm like, I can't.
yeah.
It's too much. It's gonna be too hyped. I'm gonna be
Well, and
disappointed. And like,
well, and then I got frustrated all over again because I did watch it and then I worked Wicked and then
mhm,
I'm catching up on Dancing with the Stars. So then it was Wicked Night on Dancing with the Stars, which was actually
mm,
like 3 weeks ago, but I just watched it
sure.
yesterday.
So it's all
And
you're seeing in your life.
and like the movie's coming out on Friday, so it's like literally I'm now like now
Oh my God, it is coming out on Friday.
over and now I'm like, but it'll be another year
Hmm.
before I watch it because I'm so being pummeled in the face with Wicked all over again, which is why I didn't watch the first movie in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Which here's the problem. The new movie comes out on Friday and I have to work Wicked at Shay's Saturday and Sunday.
It's gonna be a nightmare.
It's gonna be a fucking nightmare.
Hmm. I probably won't watch the other movie until it comes to Disney Plus, like I did the first time.
Right.
I don't think I can fight anybody this week. I tried to fight everybody at work today, and then I yelled at everyone I drove home past. So
Yeah.
it's not in me.
No, Saturday's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's. I'm glad you finally watched it though, and I'm glad you really liked it because
Yeah.
I really liked it, but I understand not watching it.
Right, because it was one of those things where everybody was like, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it. And the
Hmm.
more people tell me I'm gonna like something, the more I'm determined to not
Not
like it.
right. Correct.
Like the fact that I have still never watched the second episode of Stranger Things.
I haven't watched. So I have only watched 2 episodes of Black Mirror because of that. And I've only watched the first 3 episodes of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I'm with
I watched
you.
the first episode of Stranger Things and I have watched probably 3 or 4 Black Mirror episodes, but not the first 3 or 4, just like 3 or 4 random ones that people have told me were good.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I watched the first one and it was obviously horrible. And so then I was like, I'm never watching the show. And so I was like, watch the second episode. The first one was really bad. And
yeah.
so then I watched the second one. I was like, okay, this is really good. We watched it. That's what we watched in the hotel the night before we left for our cruise. Because
Mm,
that's the thing is I always like, I don't know if I said this before. I know I told Kirsten this, but
yeah.
like hotel shows don't count. So like I can
Yes.
start a show in a hotel or I can watch a random episode of a show in a hotel and I don't feel like I need to watch it when I get home because that was a vacation show. And so like I was like we should watch Black Mirror because then I can watch a couple episodes but I won't feel like I need to keep watching it when I get home or feel
Right.
like any kind of way. And so that's my vacation hack. That's how I watched Lincoln Lawyer for the first time. I absolutely loved it. I do want to go back and watch the show, the
Um,
whole show now, not just the first season. But
I'm trying to think. I have seen what is the trying to find the name of the one that I really liked. Oh, that one. Yeah, I watched season 2, episode 4, and season 4, episodes 1 and 4, and that is
mm,
it.
I've only watched episode 1, 2, and 3.
But it's because season 4, episode 4, I watched accidentally one time and was like, oh, I actually really like that. But I also am fully aware that the show is not connected in any way. You don't have to.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then Doug made me watch the season 4 episode 1 and the season 2 episode 4 because he was like, you'll like genuinely, you will really like these. And I did. So like all 3 episodes that I watched, I've really liked, but they were like in no way, shape, or form me sitting down to watch the show.
Sure, sure. Um, yeah, I will probably still watch in order because I have a problem.
Oh, same. When
Um,
I do go back and actually watch
right.
it, I will. I didn't, those episodes I watched, but they don't count as me having watched
They
the
don't count.
show.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. Fair. I mean, you can skip the first one. It is really upsetting and tragic, and I wish I never watched it. I wish I would just start with episode two.
That sucks because
Yeah,
you know I won't.
I know, but I'm just telling you now. Maybe that is enough of a caveat that will make you not say I can never watch this show again, and then wait for 8 years to watch the second
Right.
episode,
Fair.
like
No,
I
no, no.
did.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
ugh, yeah.
I mean, to
Anyways,
be fair, also like I do things like Dan and I watched with the first 2 episodes of White Lotus because everybody was talking about it, and
oh, I love White Lotus.
here's the thing. I didn't dislike it, but after 2 episodes, I felt no desire to keep watching. Like I feel nothing. I
Mm,
don't if I never go back and finish the show, I will feel nothing.
that's fair. I hate everyone, but I love that I hate everyone,
See, but
and
I
I
don't even care. Like it's not even that I hate
mm,
people. And like it's not like it's a great cast. Like Jennifer Coolidge is
yeah,
amazing. Connie Britton is amazing,
obviously,
obviously. Um it just that I felt nothing. I felt literally like I don't
yeah.
even care which character dies. I feel nothing. The only character that I gave a single shit about was the pregnant how like the pregnant lady who worked at the hotel who gave birth in the first episode and then disappeared. Like I don't give a shit about anybody else.
God, I love that show so much. It's every season I've liked less, which has been
Well,
disappointing.
because the thing is, everybody who wanted me to watch it wanted me to watch this 3rd season because they wanted to know how much of it was accurate because it's based in Thailand.
In Thailand, yeah.
But I can't just watch the 3rd season without watching the first 2, and I didn't care about the first
And
one.
like they are technically separate seasons, but there's some through line. Like you can't just watch the third
Yeah.
season.
So,
I mean, you could, but you can't because
right.
there is a bit of a through line.
Exactly.
Um,
Just like I watched Knives Out before or no,
Knives Out before Glass Onion.
I watched Glass Onion before Knives Out.
Hmm.
And
And like it doesn't
it didn't really
matter,
matter, but like
but
I feel like if I had watched them in the correct order, I would have cared about the detective more in the second movie.
this is
So,
my favorite Daniel Craig role. He
yeah.
was made for comedy.
Have you seen the new one yet? It just
No,
came
is it
out.
out?
I think it just came out this week.
Oh, I thought it came out in December.
Maybe I knew it was coming out soon, and then I saw a lot of shit pop up about it this on like Google this week. So,
Um,
um,
Wake Up Dead Man. That's it, right?
Wake Up Dead Man. Yes, initial release was September.
It sure wasn't. I looked it up and it wasn't there.
It says initial release
It's
September
a liar.
2026.
Well, it's a liar because I sure looked it up.
Oh, release date
Um,
was September 26th or September 6th on TIFF. It doesn't premiere. It's not, it's the US and Canada premiere is November
December.
26th.
They're doing a limited theatrical release in cinemas from November 26th, and then it'll be on Netflix December 12th.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I was looking at.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it in theater. I love. Is that a day I'm home with my mom
That's
for one?
Wednesday.
It is. Oh, maybe we can go on Friday. I, oh, I love the Knives Out movies. I found out this third one existed and
Well,
lost my mind.
and the cast for the 3rd one is
I
epic.
haven't even looked at it yet. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
aside from like Daniel Craig.
Yes, obviously Daniel Craig, but then
My lacunas. Oh, I did. And Jerry. Oh, I did see this. Jeremy Renner,
and
yeah, Glenn Close, Josh
yeah, yeah,
Brolin.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And Josh O'Connor, who is like the second build under Daniel Craig, who like plays the priest
Uh-huh.
that hires him or whatever, is he's not as well known in like America, but he played the young Prince Charles in the first 2 seasons of The Crown when Prince Charles was a
Mm.
teenager, and I adore him. He's such a good actor.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it.
I know. Jeremy Renner's
I'm
in it.
yeah, it's oh okay, you're right. This is gonna be a stellar cast. I did see a few of those people were gonna be in it for today,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah.
and what's his name? Oh God, Andrew Scott.
Yes, yes.
So I love
It's a
how you're
stacked
like, but
cast.
I also love how you're like talking about all of the like big name American, and I'm like all these weird British indie actors.
Yeah.
I'm like Josh
Andrew Scott
O'Connor.
is very popular. People
He
know
is
Andrew
very
Scott.
popular. He is very popular, but he does some weird British shit too.
Yes, yes, that is correct. That is accurate. Yeah, it's just a wild cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, so now that we've talked
Now that
about
we've done
everything,
everything, do you want to give us some inspirational words so we can make it through the
I'd
day?
love to. This is for me,
Okay,
to myself.
perfect.
Embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later. Bob Goff.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
today we are talking about Stargate Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 12, the
Mhm.
Defiant one. It was
The
rated 7.
Defiant one.
Yes.
I never look at the titles of these episodes.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't really think the title matters for this episode. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Um, it's fine. 7.9 stars. Um, it came out on Friday, January 28th, 2005. Um, same number one song. Still got Mario going. Um, the number one book is finally not the Da Vinci Code. Um, listen, it's been like 2 years. Um,
Look, it's worth it.
it is The Broker by John Grisham. Again, never read a John Grisham book, so
I haven't read it, but I have heard of that one.
yeah. And the number one movie is actually a movie we have done on the podcast before.
What year? Wait. What year are we in?
2005.
Hide and seek.
It is. It's the day Hide and Seek premiered. So, yeah, so Hide and Seek
Come at
was
me with my
Mhm.
movie trivia.
Um, on this day, obviously it was the day that Hide and Seek premiered. So I'm sure when we talked about the movie, you probably gave me things that happened on that day.
Sure.
But I sure couldn't find anything that was worth talking about because everything that happened in 2005 is always I can never find anything other than like people dying and wars. Like it's always so tragic.
I know. You should have
Because
seen me today looking for our next episode. I don't even know what I ended up saying,
but
but
like
that's all it was.
internet news in the early 2000s didn't exist anyway. So like the only things that are there are like actual like public news records and that's all
Hmm.
depressing shit. So I did keep one fun fact because we've talked about it before as we've been doing these shows that go through the early 2000s. We talked about Dr. Harold Shipman,
Hmm.
The British doctor who is fucking piece of shit human being. On this day, the investigation totaled that his number of murdered patients was 284.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So good times. I mean, that's also depressing, but it's like serial killer depressing, not like Middle Eastern war depressing.
Yeah, yeah, which
So
we'd rather serial killer depressing. Like,
yeah.
that's over.
Yeah.
The war in the Middle East is running
Not
strong.
yeah. This episode was directed by Peter DeLuise, written by Peter DeLuise with story editing by Martin Jarrow, and edited by Brad Rhines. So nothing new there. Um,
Mhm.
the star that we're talking about is Paul Magel or Magel. I don't actually know how to say his name. He played one of the red shirts, Dr. Gall, I believe. Um, which the episode started and there was two people on the jumper that were not our team and Dan goes, "You can't start an episode with two red shirts. Everyone's gonna die." So,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
So Paul Magel is known for Valentine, The Ice Road, and Stargate Atlantis. He's married to actress Nancy Sorrell, who is also like a bit part one name actress, who we'll talk about in a couple weeks because she's in one of the upcoming SG1 episodes, and that's really it.
Nice.
Um, and they have one child, and his Insta is private, and he doesn't have a picture on IMDb, so I don't know shit about the man.
Look, that, I mean, that was me with the editors last week. I like, you
Right.
can only do so much.
Yeah. So we start the episode, like I said, on a puddle jumper, with John and Rodney and two other doctors, Dr. Brandon Gall and Dr. Abrams, and they are surveying a Lagrangian point satellite.
At first, I thought you were just like, and they were surveying, and that was supposed to be like a dramatic pause. I'm like,
No, it was because I have written down the name of this satellite and I don't
mm,
know if that's a word. So, that was me being like, what the fuck? Because
right,
I certainly
sure.
didn't listen to them talk. Um, when as they're surveying the satellite, they detect a distress call. Um, on further investigation, they realize that there is a Wraith supply ship on the surface of the planet, and it was shot down 10,000 years ago during the Lantean Wraith War, but it is still sending off a distress signal.
Hmm. Hmm.
Fun fact, this is the very first time that we ever hear the ancients called Lantean. But that is
What
their
was that
official.
sound?
That was my husband sneezing downstairs. The fact
Bless
that
you, Dan.
the fact that when I burped earlier, the microphone didn't pick it up, but you could hear Dan sneezing downstairs is wild.
That
Um,
is absolutely bonkers.
um, they're
Anyways,
very
Lanteans.
Yeah, so Lanteans is the official title of the people of Atlantis. But
Huh,
this is the first time
sure,
that
that
they use,
tracks.
but they just randomly casually use this word like they've been using it all season. They haven't. This is the first time they've said it. So fun fact.
Yeah, that tracks.
So they land the puddle jumper on the surface to investigate the this supply ship. They do first ask if they can land the puddle jumper, which Weir is not happy about because they are 15 hours away from Atlantis. And so if anything were to go wrong, the earliest they could get another ship to them with backup is 15 hours. Um, so
Is
that's
not a short amount of time.
not a short amount of time. Um, so they land and they leave the puddle jumper on the surface and they go toward this ship and they find it empty, no life signs. They're running around, like walking around trying to see what they find, but then they find evidence of Wraith crew members of the ship that have been drained of life the way humans have. And so they determined that, like, as a last resort, the Wraiths will resort to cannibalism, which is a fun fact to learn about them. Um, but it was most likely due to desperation. But they're thinking if this thing crashed 10,000 years ago during the war and then could get off the planet, and then whoever, if there's anybody even left, they think at this point there's no way there's any living Wraith left if they had already resorted to cannibalism that long ago.
So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, wraiths eat people.
They suck the life right out of them.
They suck the life out of them.
Yeah.
But theoretically, their life force would not be the same as a human life force. So, if they're eating other wraiths, what is the makeup? Soul
Um,
ratio? What is our
So
situation?
so basically it actually might be even better because theoretically what they do when they suck the life out of it is they basically like take years off of your life. Like they Benjamin Button you,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you think about it as other Wraith have a extended lifespan, they don't have the same lifespan as the humans. They can live for hundreds of years as
Mm-hmm.
long as they have food, which for them is years. Um, then they're fine. So they're taking a life force off of a almost immortal being. So you just have even more years that you can take.
So why are we killing humans and not killing other wraiths? Like
Well,
vampires don't kill vampires because they can't suck their blood.
yeah,
Like that doesn't it doesn't work.
but why do people not kill and eat people when it's been determined that human meat does have the same or better nutrients than cows?
Because there's a lot of diseases in humans that aren't in other animals.
There's also the moral and ethical part of it is really the bigger
Well,
issues.
sure, sure.
I
But
really thought your answer was going to be that that's morally
well, I
disgusting.
was just using logic because I mean, like, if we're playing morals, sure, that's a whole different world. Which I don't know that the Wraith have similar morals, but like that could be a consideration. But take
I
away that part.
take away that part. It probably very similar. Like take away that part. I do think it's more of the ethical
Mm.
parts to it. Um, but take away that part, it probably is similar because obviously the Wraith get their life from eating these other people. So it's probably like I don't like I don't know a good like comparison, but it's the only comparisons I can think of are related to the Zodiac Academy books, which will make no sense to you. So I can't use that to help
Yeah.
explain my point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'll read that soon, and then you can
well,
explain cannibalism
basically,
and the
okay,
rights.
basically in the Zodiac Academy books, vampires, like there's lots of different kinds of creatures. Like everyone is a fae, they're all magical, like these magical fairies, but they have
Mhm.
different orders. Like they could be able to turn into a dragon, able to be turn into a vampire, able to turn into a harpy. And vampires and every single different order of fae gets their replenishes their power through a specific thing. So like dragons have to roll in gold to get their powers to go back up to full.
Sure.
Vampires obviously suck blood, but the amount of power that you get by sucking blood depends on how powerful the person that you're sucking blood is from.
Mhm.
So, like, if you're sucking blood from a weak fairy, you're not getting good power. Like, it's harder to replenish your power. So, if you think about it, and like the Wraith are only as their like longevity is only based on how full of human life they are, then by the time you run out of humans and now you're all living on like half life, there wouldn't be as much to get from them.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Fair.
Like it would be like the difference with between the Donner Party eating each other and like a cannibal eating like a healthy fat human.
Yes, fair. Yes, 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 fair. I'm with you.
If somebody only like listens to random snippets of our podcast, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this
I'm
show
putting it on
about?"
TikTok one day. I need to like make a note. I have a spreadsheet somewhere that I make
Of like
notes in about
the things
this.
that you want to put on TikTok.
Yeah.
Me trying to desperately explain cannibalism in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if we have any moments where we need to like take a break or whatever, that would be a good time to do like some TikToky things just to keep the
Keep the
unhinged.
vibe alive.
Why
Um,
can't I figure out how to open a different account?
I
Sorry, it's fine.
have no
I'm
idea.
listening.
Well,
Continue.
while you do that, we'll keep talking. But they as they go through the further investigation of the ship reveals hundreds of stasis chambers for storing humans. So this was actually a giant supply vessel. So like they must have been stranded for quite some time if they resorted to cannibalism because this was the biggest supply ship they'd ever seen. So the Wraith that were on the ship ate through the life of every single human in that massive supply chamber and then started feeding on each other. So like wild.
Right.
Unbeknownst to the team, there is a single survivor from the ship's original crew still alive, um,
Hmm.
which they did not get picked up on the life signs detector because it was hibernating. Um, but once they enter the ship and like start turning things on, the Wraith reawakens and immediately kills Abrams and drains 90% of the life force from Dr. Gall. But he
Yes.
specifically leaves him alive as a
Hmm.
tactical advantage, because it will force the rest of the team to split up in order to both save their friend and defeat the Wraith. Um, Instead of going, both of them going after the Wraith, one has to stay behind to look at Gaul. Um, and Dr. Gall reveals that while having his life force sucked out of him, he did in fact give the Wraith his remote and the location of the jumper.
Yeah.
Um, they realize that the Wraith will, obviously, with no Mantian DNA, not have any ability to fly the shuttle jumper or really turn it on. But the
Hmm.
subspace communicators and the weapons both are not on that same system. So he could get to the ship and, if nothing else, contact another Wraith ship to come get him. So they
Yeah.
are going to have to fix that situation. The Wraith finds the jumper. Shepard decides he's gonna just single-handedly reclaim the vehicle. Um, so he starts by trying to gaslight the Wraith, and he tells them that the Lanteans won the war, and the Wraith is the last Wraith left in the entire galaxy. There's nothing left out there. He's just gonna die. Um, the Wraith doesn't believe him, but does leave the ship to attack him. Um, Shepard is shooting the Wraith, trying to kill it. It's not working very well, both by the fact that the Wraith has just fed, which means that its healing abilities are significantly high, but also based on
Yeah.
the fact that this Wraith has somehow managed to survive 10,000 years alone. So we're not dealing with a bottom feeder here.
Mm-mm.
Um, Shepard unloads an entire magazine from his P90, and the Wraith like is temporarily stunned. Cool.
Yeah.
uh, he tries to use a grenade, and that doesn't even kill the Wraith, or cause any permanent injury. Uh, However, the Wraith does get a gun off the ship and shoot Shepard in the arm. And Shepard also does almost blow himself up while trying to test the grenades. So things are going
Swimmingly.
swimmingly. Um, all while this is happening, um, back on Atlantis, Weir is like, I don't trust that this is going to go well. So she asks Ford to get Taylor and get a crew together to go rescue them. Because even though they haven't called in yet, the closer the crew can be when they do, the better off everyone will be. And Weir just has a gut instinct that leaving John and Rodney to decision making is the incorrect choice.
Yeah,
Always.
I thought she handled it very like smoothly though. Like she was
Yes.
very like very proper, very
Oh yeah.
elegant.
Yeah, no, she handled leadership like a fucking boss, but in the back of her head she was like, I let the two most arrogant, hard-headed pieces of shit in this whole place make decisions 15 hours away from home, and I regret everything.
Yeah.
Um So the whole time, the Wraith is still stuck on the planet, even though he has managed to evade every one of John's attacks. He cannot control the jumper. He doesn't have the ancient gene and therefore is stuck. So Shepard is still trying to uh, take the ship, and he's back and forth communicating with McKay, who is with Dr. Gall. And Dr. Gall is very weak. He is paralyzed and he's severely aged. And he's talking to Rodney about what about like this professional rivalry that only existed in his mind of how he was going to be better than Rodney and everything because he was so much younger and just as smart and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
Like Rodney's trying really hard to be like kind and gentle to this clearly dying man, but also is kind of annoyed because Rodney's like, the fuck do you mean? Um but then they keep fighting about it, and Gall's like, you have to just leave me here. And he's like, I can't. Like, we're gonna get you out of here eventually. You're not gonna be paralyzed anymore. And Gall's like, John needs your help. You can't just stay here. He's not gonna defeat the Wraith by himself. I'm already dead. And Redney's like, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. And then while Redney's on the radio with Shepard, Gall blows his own brains out so that Rodney
This is like
can't.
dark. It was just turned dark and I
It
did
turned
not
really
expect it.
dark. He blows his brains out so that Rodney can't stay behind to help him anyway. Because he's like, he's already seen how bad he looks. He's already seen how old he
Hmm.
is. He can feel his body giving up, and he's like, fuck this. I'm gonna die on my own hands, which I kind of
Yeah.
respect. But also every time Stargate brushes suicide, it freaks me out because I'm so not used to the show actually like being that dark.
Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
um uh So McKay goes to join Rodney, or I'm sorry, goes to join Shepard to fight the Wraith and figure out what's going on. Um, then we have a really weird random scene where Rodney takes a break to eat a protein bar, which
Mm,
somehow manages to attract all of the like magic light bugs on the planet. um, because of course we couldn't get through an episode without Rodney having an unnecessary eating scene.
for
Um,
sure.
um, Then, in a very last ditch effort to retake the jumper, Shepard tries to distract a Wraith with a flare and like pull him away, and then he runs for the jumper only to bounce off the shield around the jumper that the Wraith did manage to activate because it's the only thing he could activate. Um, and Shepard's plan fails, and the Wraith actually just starts like laughing and making fun of him. And they realize that this Wraith is like super fucking smart because he's managed to be the psycho who lasted 10,000 years and ate his own crew just to survive. So, like, not the fucking guy to be messing with.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
uh, they, they're out of ammunition. Both Rodney and Shepard have no bullets left. So Shepard is like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So he decides to bring a knife to a gunfight and just start like slashing at the Wraith, basically.
yeah.
Um, and he does manage to stab the Wraith through the feeding hand, which is not great for the Wraith. However, the Wraith can still kill you, it just can't eat you.
Right.
And he's about to. Oh, and then this is when McKay gets there, and McKay starts shooting the Wraith to distract it.
Mhm.
Um, however, of
He's like,
course,
"What do you do? Shoot him." He's like, "Okay, I'm out of bullets. Now I do reload." Like,
yeah, right. He has to like tell him how to have a gun.
yeah, bless
Which of
you.
course we know the bullets aren't really doing anything other than like buying them time. But it's okay because Ford and Taylor radio and say that they are 20 minutes away from the planet. And John is like, please, for the love of God, speed up because I don't know if we can make it another 20 minutes, but like, okay, great. Um, and then Shepard takes a page out of the McKay handbook and sticks one of the protein bars on the Wraith so that the light bugs swarm the Wraith um, while it's distracted. And that because the light bugs did show life sign readings on their detector, and since the
Yeah.
Wraith isn't, they want to make sure that the puddle jumper that Taylor's in can shoot the correct thing to have a bigger life sign than Rodney or John. And so he covers them in light bugs, um, and the crew targets the uh
These light bugs reminded me of a different episode. Was it Stargate early season or was
it
it
was.
X-Files?
No,
Okay.
it was SG-1. There were in season 3, I think episode I want to say 6, there was light bugs that did weird things as well. Um
Yeah.
it was on the trivia for this episode and then I didn't write it
Huh.
down.
I know
Um
stuff.
you did. I didn't write it down because I was like, oh, it's okay, I'll remember that. I don't. Um I don't remember which episode it was.
I truly just remember being like, this happened in an episode where they were stuck in a really cold, icy place. But then I couldn't remember if it was Stargate or X-Files. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, same vibes. Same vibes for that episode.
yeah. It no, stop. Sorry. I keep trying to click on Atlantis, but then like the ad will pop up on IMDb and so
Yeah.
it keeps clicking on the wrong thing. Um into this GD trivia. Um oh, season 4 episode called Prodigy, which was what was this episode about? Um This episode was. Oh, this was the episode where they went to the school and the girl that they taught the little teenage girl who then joined the Air Force with that other team. Like Sam was talking to the girl at the school and
Mm-mm. This is not the episode I'm thinking of.
oh, but because while they were doing that, remember, and then she got to come on the mission with them, and then that's why she knew she wanted to be better in the Air Force.
Mm-mm.
And okay, well, because then there were light bugs in the forest with Teal'c and Daniel. Or I'm sorry, Teal'c and Jack.
I'm thinking of the episode where this must have been X-Files then, where they're like away, like I thought like Antarctica, it was like on a frozen planet or something. And then they can't get out of the Jeep because the bugs are surrounding them and trying to eat them.
That is certainly not anything that has ever happened on Stargate.
Okay. Must have been X-Files. It must
I
have been X-Files.
was like, no, there is a Stargate episode with the light bugs, but it is not they're not being eaten in the ice. They're just in the jungle.
Okay, different vibes.
Cool, cool, cool. So the puddle jumper sends a drone weapon, finally kills the uh um uh the Wraith. Um Everything's good except for now Shepard and McKay have to get back in the puddle jumper and get home, which means McKay has to figure out how to deactivate the shields from outside of the puddle jumper. So John's like, I promise you can drive home if you can figure out how to open the shields.
Yep.
And that is the end of the episode.
But no, they've killed this Wraith. At least they have time now to figure it out.
Correct, correct. They are now
Hmm.
in fact alone. Although I don't know if either of them has an energy bar, which for Rodney means they don't actually have a lot of time left because we know how
True.
Rodney gets when he
20
doesn't eat.
minutes, he's dead.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so that is the end of that episode.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Sorry, I just went to the next episode of SG1 or of Atlantis to see what like what it was about to give you a little sneak peek.
Hmm.
And apparently the next episode, season 13, is the first time that they say that Ford's first name is Aiden, but I've just been calling him Aiden this whole time as if like we knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that because you keep saying it, but I didn't think you had
Apparently
said it for
that
sure.
we don't learn it until next week, so that's
Mhm.
fun.
Good news. Very exciting.
Oops. Yeah, the next one is not a Wraith episode.
Okay.
And it's all right. It's interesting. But of course we will watch an SG1 episode
Sure.
first. So, do you have any thoughts, questions, concerns?
It just went darker than I expected.
Yeah.
I never like I mean, kind of like you said, never expect suicide from this, which feels like a crazy thing to say because it's a military type show and that happens a
And
lot in
it
the
happens
military.
and it has
Like,
happened a lot in this show.
right, it just
Actually.
no, bad.
Yeah, you're
Bad.
like, no, 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 change my mind. Down,
No,
down, down.
wrong one. Um, but yeah, so it's just like it got dark and like threw me off really fast.
Yeah.
Um, and like even though we didn't know this guy, like I don't know, rough. Uh, I don't know. This wasn't actually one of my favorite episodes. I mean, I
No.
like it. I like a John and McKay like dynamic, but it didn't hit this episode as much.
No, it didn't. Which is
You
interesting
know,
because this episode's rated pretty high. I mean, it's
yeah,
7.9, which I think I'm trying to figure out. I don't think it's the highest. Um, no, it's not. The beginning of the season has a lot of eights in it, but it is rated 7.9, which is not low. Um,
right.
but and it's certainly
Yeah,
not the
I
lowest
just
of the season,
sure.
but
Yeah. So that's really it. I don't really know. That's
okay.
it.
That's fair. I an episode where a lot of screen time is taken up by characters that die in the episode is never really my favorite, because
Sure, yeah.
I don't, it's hard to get attached to an episode when none of the characters are really matter. If that makes sense.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, we found out some interesting things about the Wraith and Atlantis and the lore and like, and that's good information to have, but it's not like game changing.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Who do you want to punch?
I'm copping out. I'm picking the Wraith for eating his whole civilization.
Um, I did actually have the Wraith as my first choice because
Ah!
there was also not a lot of answers. But I did I confused which doctor was which. So my answer that I wrote down is actually incorrect. But I I'm gonna choose Dr. Abrams, who was the one who died first.
Yeah,
Um, just because he was a little bitch for the whole episode.
sure. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, granted, he died like 8 minutes in, but like
Pretty pretty quickly, yeah.
he was a bitch for the first 8 minutes. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Who was your MVP?
Um, Again, this is might be a weird answer. I'm gonna go with Weir
Okay,
for really knowing her team and knowing like what needed to be done.
totally valid. Um, I picked John
Sure,
because
I would have picked him next as well.
there's not
So,
really a lot else going on in this episode. So yeah.
mhm.
Not the best, not the best. By no means the worst episode of Stargate we've
No,
ever
no, no,
seen,
for
but
sure, for
not but
sure.
not the best. So like I said, next week we will be watching Stargate SG-1, season 8,
Hmm.
episode 12. Um,
Okay.
which I forget what I said that episode was about. Um,
I don't know
because
that you did.
I thought I probably gave some kind of hint. Not that. Oh, I did because I told you we were going to meet a character that I was really excited for you to meet.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I think that's why I thought all week that I was watching SG-1 because I'm just so excited for that
Mm,
episode.
fair.
But no. But yeah, so next week we are watching an exciting SG-1 episode with a brand new character that I'm excited
Ooh la
about.
la.
And the following week will be an Atlantis episode where we will have a less, it will be more of a one-off, less Wraith stuff happening. Um,
Cool, cool, cool.
so yeah. If you have any thoughts, theories, questions, concerns, um, you can always email us at deafandaliens@gmail.com or follow us on any social media at deafandaliens. You can find me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can find me at CE Cloud 13.
And we will see you on Thursday for the second episode of Penny Dreadful.
Ooh la la. Bye.
Bye.